This is a topic I feel quite strongly about. I see it a lot in the sports that I coach, powerlifting and bikini fitness bodybuilding. I am probably going to venture into writing a book about this, more probably in the bikini bodybuilding lines. I would call it The Complete Competitor. But in a nutshell, I see a lack on some coaches' behalves, not the athletes, to take into account all the factors to make a complete competitor. What do I mean by this? Let's say we're for a bikini competitor. It's not simply macros and cutting down and then posing on stage. Truth be known, the mechanics of getting someone motivated into shape is quite simple. You measure the outcome, you adjust accordingly, and they will get in shape. Even if you're employing pretty average methods that are unhealthy, I would consider. But in the end, it's quite easy. You monkey see, monkey do. They will do the work. They're very motivated. But what I do see is a lack of long-term planning. So what do I mean by this? It's taking the competitor year by year and making the cut downs better and them a healthier competitor. Another big topic where that doesn't get talked about. We want healthy competitors. I don't want to hear about a bikini competitor who has not had a menstrual cycle for 9 months. This is alarm bells ringing. This is bad. No one's talking about it. I don't want to see, after a season or two, a bodybuilder or fitness competitor with borderline eating disorders or phobias of foods or a compulsive need to train and not take deloads or time off. These are all the things us as coaches need to take into account. Also, and a big one, the mental well-being of our clients. Let's say again, bikini prep and bodybuilding prep is hard, and a good coach needs to, give a good kick up the bum when they're being lazy, sure. But it's not just you do this. There's life factors to take into account. And if the emotional well-being is suffering too much, then a good coach needs to recognize this and give support when needed, and to kick up the bum when needed. But I'm going to do probably, as I said, a lot more on this topic, especially when I get into more of the podcasting. But it's just something I think that needs to be put out there, that we need to take into account physical and mental health and steering a competitor. 1, to enjoy the process. 2, to stay healthy. 3, to make each level of the journey, so let's say they do a cut down, lead into a successful post-comp period where they don't blow up like a pufferfish, where they've maintained good relationships with food and they can control that somewhat, to then lead into a healthy off-season that is productive, that then sets them up to have a better next prep season. It's not just about cutting down and building muscle. There are a lot of topics not being talked about, or just taking that holistic view and making them a complete competitor, which means a balanced person, not a person who yo-yos too much in weight, who has a phobia of food, who is too obsessive about training instead of objective about training and looking for results. And especially for females, has a healthy endocrine system and hormones, and of course also that are highly educated as well. So we get rid of a lot of the unhealthy practices or the bro science, and all of these things that can lead to people doing some pretty drastic, unnecessary most of the time things. And so I'm going to do a lot more on this topic. I don't want this to be a long video, just want to put it out there because I'm going to do more about it. And the last point I'd like to leave it with is just this example, is if we can get, and this is in powerlifting as well, but let's just say for bodybuilding or bikini, two competitors arrive on stage and they're identical, they're in great shape, they're crushing it. Let's say they come first, second, and they're separated by, you know, no difference hardly at all. Except one of the competitors has got up there and they're still relatively healthy. Their calories never dropped too low. They were not doing excessive cardio. They had a good flexible relationship with food, so they got no food problems. They cut down at a very, very steady rate, so they weren't doing anything drastic, and no major effects, let's say, to their menstrual cycle, and the psychological stress load was, its competition was moderate. The other competitor hadn't had a period for 3 months, was dehydrated, has a fear of carbs, thinks they have to excessively keep doing cardio to stay lean, and is fearful of what's coming after the comp because they're so wound up and on such low calories that they don't trust themselves. That they know they're probably going to yo-yo and blow up. But they look identical on stage. If your outcome measure is just how they look on stage, then I think there's a lot more to be said about the processes that need to go in to a successful outcome. Whereas I would view it as, yeah, you got to be in shape and, you know, kick ass on stage, but also in the healthiest fashion possible, good relationship with food, knowing you can control the post-comp period, ready maybe to have a bit of time off and knowing that's healthy for you, arriving on the day without having done any drastic measures, you know, crazy water protocols that, you know, are borderline dangerous sometimes with electrolyte imbalances and things, and happy on the day to have a good time. So I just wanted to put that out there. I'm personally learning just to throw some stuff out there. I'm going to do it more and more. But this is just the tip of the iceberg. I'm going to delve into this topic a lot. I think it has to be put out there. I've been in the industry and competing in coaching well over 20 years, and I think we can do a lot better and improve what's happening. But it takes a bit to shift the culture. But, you know, hey, we've got to start. So more to come on this topic, and I hope you have a great weekend. And I'm up to Brisbane for her Raw, a great invitational where they showcase the best female strength athletes, bodybuilders, strong women, powerlifters. So I hope our girls from Power Elite can do some damage. See you guys.